So we're going to take a look at Unit 4, Week 1, Day 5. I highlighted our subgroups up here because we want to keep them top of mind as we enter this. And we're really going to look at Day 5. So you've already looked at Day 1 and Day 2, blend and build. So we're going to take a look at Day 5. And I just printed every day so that we could see across time if we needed to today. So 5 is on the very back. It does not say blend and build. It does not say blend. It says spiral review. So I just want you to take a minute, read through that. Let's talk about what we're reviewing and kind of where that was in the scope and sequence. So I'll give you a few seconds just kind of read through that, and then let's chat about what we're reviewing. What do we notice about these review skills that we're going to be engaged in?
They're still practicing reading, but it's with letters that we've learned maybe in previous weeks, so that we're still spiraling and reviewing those and making sure we have that reading to the point of automaticity.
Right. So really that idea of automaticity here, I'm glad you highlighted that. And some of these skills, like short I, that was almost a whole unit ago, right? Unit 3, week 1 and 2. Yeah, 1 and 2. So that short I and the initial or medial position. So almost a whole unit back. We're going back that far to think about engaging them. So what is the intent? You named automaticity. Automaticity with what? When we think about our continuum of hear it, say it, read it, spell it, write it, what do we want automaticity with?
With their read it.
With the read it part, right? So we're going for that decoding piece and really wanting kids to read that. So that in mind, what are the high leverage teacher moves within this section?
Having the teacher model and have the kids practice.
Yeah, so we're gonna have that teacher model in this part, right? And then we're gonna move into student practice. What exactly is the teacher modeling?
How to blend the letters and sounds.
Yeah, how to blend through that. How to blend through that, those words that are there. And so then, what does student practice look like?
On their practice, they choral read the words, and then you can practice going in reverse order.
Yeah, so it has them chorally reading that list of words, right? And those are also in their foundational literacy packet, so that we have the opportunity to lean into integrity here and think about, do we want the whole class choral, are we still there in terms of chorally reading those words, or are we going to adjust a bit and think about how to hold all students accountable? And I really want to lean into this progress monitoring piece. Also did some work around blend and build with a blending focus and a word awareness focus. So let's think about, if this is day 5 in the instructional cycle, all of these are spiral review. Are we going to need to have that blending focus, or are we going to do word awareness focus? Because we have an option here. We could do blending where we're just having them blend the words and we're going to lean in, listen, check in. Or we can do a word awareness focus, which might mean we need letter tiles. And we're asking them to change nip to fit. And then and with that, we might have to change the sequence of words to make sure that we have a chain. Does that make sense? So I just want to talk it out with you and think through, like, what pieces of student data would we need? Or is this a place where we just strictly blend? So what data might we need to collect to think about, do kids need to blend here?
I feel like the intent of day 5 is fluency based, so I feel like the best data would be to lean in and listen to them read it and see if they're making mistakes out of context, like see if they can read it.
Yeah.
Fluently.
So and we can use the foundational literacy booklet for that and really lean in to listen. So with that blending focus on day 5, we're going to engage in some practice. So we're going to take it live. And I brought some letter tiles so that y'all can practice, or if you want to pull up the e-pocket chart, you can do either one. But we're going to practice with each other. So I would love for somebody to be super brave and go first and just model what those, what we said that model was going to look like for blending. And then we're going to move into the student practice piece. So first we'll go through the model together, and then we'll move to the practice, right? Thank you guys for engaging in practice today. I do want us to think about one key takeaway from today. When we think about the model and the practice and moving from kind of this day 1 to day 2 to day 5 in Blend and Build with this spiral review, what's one key takeaway, and also how will that impact student learning?
I feel like I knew that day 5 was fluency, but I didn't like really think about it in terms of the spiral review and them reading the words automatically. So I feel like that's my big takeaway today, is making sure that they can read each word automatically. And I kind of noticed that today as I was teaching it. I was like, okay, yeah, we need to make sure we're reading these automatically. So just making sure that as I'm teaching throughout the week, I'm building to that point, and on day 5, making sure that they can read.
Yeah. So our action step for today, I would love for you to put your name on a Post-it note and just note the date and time you're teaching this, so that your admin team can come see it in action and really develop that instructional cycle